welcome back to regular programming. Now it's time for the super fun happy horror hour with your hosts, Adam and Mike.
Yep.
Oh, it's
So
been a day.
you were meant to go live. You were meant to go live. But the biggest thing that I've realized in you saying that you should have gone live and
Mm.
you learnt something new, the biggest travesty is that you don't have 1,000 followers on Instagram.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm going to start off this episode, which makes sense because as we're recording this, this is actually Stranger Things Day.
Yes.
We're going to do this episode a little bit back to front or upside down here.
Mm.
Right now, before anyone listens to any more of this podcast, press pause, open up Instagram, go to curbside uh, underscore collections and chuck a follow because we need Adam doing Instagram lives because he's funny enough on in what we call recordings here that I can only imagine how much more unhinged and hilarious Instagram lives would be. And I think that that would be beneficial for everyone because one, this is a man who's extremely knowledgeable, extremely passionate about the things that he loves, but he's also quick to talk without a filter, and that is going to lead to some of the funniest shit you'll ever see on the internet.
Oh.
Um, I mean, I like it enough when I can stump Adam with something and ask a question that he's not ready for, but the fact that the whole thing would be off the cuff
Yeah,
and live,
it is.
um, it makes it that it's like it sounds bad because this is a guy that I absolutely adore, but it's like when you know something bad could happen and you can't look
It's
away. Like
okay.
there's a chance that like we
It's
could
like a
see an
NASCAR
accident here.
race.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? Like you're there and you're there going like, "Oh, we love how good these guys are going and how fast they're going." But we're secretly going like, "Oh, come on, one of those bumpers hit the other one and flip." But because you are hilarious and you're definitely more hilarious off the cup because you're so unfiltered.
Yeah.
You say one-liner things that I think are hilarious that you haven't even realized that you've said, or that you don't even,
No.
and it's your delivery, the way that you say it. So yes,
That
um, you have to record. You have to follow Adam on curbside underscore collections on Instagram. Let's get him to 1,000 followers so that he can go live because this is what dreams or nightmares are made out of. But I think that we all
bit of both.
um, we need to have that option to find out firsthand.
Mate, honestly, I really appreciate that plug. That means so much. I was starting to get a bit teary-eyed, honestly, because I do just talk. I'm just me, man. My heart is on my sleeve. What you see is what you get. So if I'm making people happy, that makes me happy. That's part of the gig. So, thank you. That honestly does mean a lot to me. You saying that, without no hint of whatever satire or whatever. That was yeah. Thank you. Means a lot. So anyway, we're going to talk about two movies today because Mike does have a heart out. He needs to get going relatively soon. So we're going to get stuck straight in. We're not going to put a timer on it because we've got a self-imposed timer. We're talking about The Fog from 1980 and the remake from 2005. We normally go in chronological order, but I want to do something different with this episode. I'm not sure if you're on board. Do you want to talk about '05 first?
Yeah, why not? Like I said, it's Stranger Things Day. I know that by the time people are listening to
Correct.
this, it won't be. And I'm sure that everyone probably up to date by then, by the time this episode comes out. But to make it a little bit different and to have something fun for us, let's just turn this episode upside down. So yeah, we'll start with the '05 movie first, but we should also, if we're going to do it upside down, just let everyone know that this podcast is a part of the SPDM crew, the network there. So definitely check them out. Listen to all of the podcasts where good podcasts are uploaded. And I'm going to because I normally go first because Adam's
Hmm.
very much a question asker and likes to
Mm-hmm.
make it very natural in how we talk about it. But because we're in the upside down today, I'm going to let Adam start with his thoughts of the 2005 remake of The Fog.
I do have some thoughts from 2005. I'd never seen this film before, so straight up history of this film, never seen it. I had seen the 1980 The Fog once before I'd seen this, and that was a couple of years ago when I watched the original The Fog. So long story short, on my letterboxd at Herb Ryder, we'll throw that plug in there too. This is a half-star movie. If I could give this zero, I would have given this zero. This movie is so fucking bad in every aspect. There's not one redeeming feature of this film. I would watch Jurassic World Dominion 1,000 times before I rewatch this. I'll get into more details, but I want to hear what you think and your initial thoughts. Had you seen this before?
No, I hadn't.
Okay.
Well, I believe I probably have before,
Right.
just because of the age that. So I would have been about 15 when the movie came out, thereabouts.
Mhm.
And that was very much, when I was
Fucking
starting
15.
yeah, 15.
God, man.
And that was probably around the time that I was getting very much into horror, starting to
Yeah,
really
gotcha.
sort of pay attention
Oh,
and
it's the
not just
worst
be like,
decade to start getting into horror too.
well, but now it's the best though. In all honesty,
Do you
the
have
kitchen,
in all
I
respect,
do, but
do you have nostalgia
yeah,
for Thousands Horror? Because it is
yeah,
a
I do.
fucking the one thing
And
that
look,
I've
they're
taught.
horrible,
One of
but
my
yeah.
one of my key notes from watching this, and we've watched quite a few remakes from the thousands, like we've done
Mm.
Chainsaw Massacre, which was actually pretty good, but we've done a couple of others. But the thousands was a very, very bad time for horror in the history of film. Honestly, it is so bad.
The thousands was a very bad decade for everything in the world. Fashion,
Oh, I can't remember
yeah.
fashion. I can't remember.
Um, but yeah, no, it was definitely. I look back with rose-tinted glasses. Not to say that they're good. I'm not putting my hands up going thousand. The
Hmm.
noughties horrors were great. They weren't.
No,
It's
no.
a dime a dozen. There was maybe
A
one
lot
out
of
of every
remakes.
list.
A
Yeah, a
lot
lot of
of
remakes.
remakes. Yeah.
And then a lot of movies that, and I know we still get sort of this today, but a lot of movies back then were casting celebrities from different fields in
Hmm.
movies.
Hmm.
You were getting um people from other movies, from other fields, like musicians were coming into acting. Um Other celebrity like Paris Hilton in
Oh, House of Wax and
House of
whatnot.
Wax.
Yeah.
I know it's a little bit before it, but even Brandy was the singer Brandy was
Yeah.
in I think it was I Know What You Did Last Summer, or in that franchise.
Hmm.
Um you had rappers like Busta Rhymes in Halloween. You had LL Cool J in Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah.
And so
Deep Blue
there
Sea
was
is pretty rad though. I can't lie.
and he was pretty good in it, I'll also admit. I
Yeah, yeah,
enjoyed
yeah. Definitely.
it was good. And not to say that these people haven't done other things, or
Mm.
haven't done little stints in other movies or anything like this, but I do feel like it was a time where celebrities in other fields made appearances. Sometimes it was gimmicky or tokenism of going hey, look, we've got the next, the hottest thing right now.
Mm.
Um, let's just put it in the movie for the sake of it. It'd be like today's age would be like having a horror movie, and in the first 15 minutes of the movie, Taylor Swift gets killed.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be like if they did it now. And now they know that the fact that if Taylor Swift was put in a movie,
Oof.
even if they were in there for 30 seconds, she would be featured in every piece of marketing for that movie.
Yes, definitely.
Um
Yeah, good
and
point. Same as Godzilla when Bryan Cranston was killed off in the first 20 minutes.
yeah,
When they,
like
yeah.
all that sort of stuff. So we get all that, and it's like the movies now that we're getting. Rest in peace, Tony Todd. But the
Hmm.
guy filmed a lot. He was very prolific with he was always doing filming. That there's been so many movies that have been released since his death. Some of them he's had tiny roles in, little bit parts in it, and he on these independent movies he's getting his name on the poster, he's shown on the poster, and
Yeah.
he might be in the movie for 2 minutes. And that's what I noticed with him was there's so many Tony Todd movies coming out, that I've never heard of, and it's like, oh yeah, Tony Todd in his last role, and it's like, and then you hear that again in the next month, um, and it's just like that. But no, I have a nostalgic thing for 2000s because of how horrible they tend to be.
And it makes sense because that's when you grew up, yeah. So that's what
Mm.
this is kind of the way it works. So, your instant thoughts on the fog then, '05, because just being mindful of the time frame we're working in. Did
Yeah,
you what are your overall thoughts? Do you have anything?
I hated it.
Yeah,
I hated
cool.
it. Like,
Yeah,
there was nothing about it. Like, I was watching it and I thought, and I knew that it was a 2000s movie, so I wasn't expecting much. I think, in all honesty, and I don't know why it's happened, but I think the 2000s decade of horror has aged worse than any other decade of
yeah,
horror.
yeah.
Like,
Good
even
point.
worse, like, I
Yeah.
think horror from the 70s, has still
Oh,
aged better than the
it's
2000s.
sick.
The
Horror from the
90s
'70s
have
is
as well,
yeah,
like 80s obviously have, and it's just like, and I think this decade of horror will age better than the 2000s did.
definitely. It's been a good decade for horror.
Um,
The '20s.
so it wasn't there was nothing good about it. I am a fan of the original, which obviously we'll talk about.
Hmm.
Um, but there was just no redeeming factor. The two people that we had in the movie, the two mains, so Tom Welling and Maggie Grace.
Yep.
Obviously, back then they were both massive. You had Tom Welling in Smallville,
Hmm.
and Maggie Grace was in Lost.
Yep.
So they were two big names, and I don't know. I've not done my research. I'll admit that I don't know how well this movie did in the box office. Um, but
No, no.
outside of them, and oh, Selma Blair was in it too. But outside of
Yes.
that, there was no one else well known in the movie. Um, like literally no one else, and the acting was bad, which I
That
hate
thing's
to
shocking,
say
dude. It's shocking.
because I liked Tom Welling in Smallville, but
I
I
oh,
don't know how I'd
I've
go
never seen
rewatching it.
Smallville, but I was watching this thinking one of my notes is that I think every take is the first take. That's what it looks like. There's no more than two takes done for anything. There's probably 2 weeks of rehearsals at most if they did any rehearsal because it is so bad. It's not even that the writing is that specifically bad. It's just the line readings are terrible. I remember I think you wrote in your review on Letterboxd that you thought Selma Blair was good. One of my keynotes was that she's terrible in this.
I liked her voice. She sounded like
That's
Adrienne Barbeau.
I didn't like the way she was putting on that radio show affectation that she was doing. Adrienne Barbeau does it well, so much better and it's a bit more
Oh,
naturalistic with her.
absolutely,
Selma
definitely. But
Blair, I mean, I like Selma Blair overall as an actress or actor, but I just
this
do
is
not
her
like her in
best,
this at
her
all.
worst role since, like, I'm gonna say,
Shocking.
like, GDT's Hellboy. Right? This is probably
Yeah, well, that's what makes me think everything was done on the first take. It's
yeah.
either really bad editing because the editor has picked up the worst of all the takes, or it's just they haven't given these actors a chance to have a second or third bite at the cherry when they're delivering a scene.
Is Out of everything in the whole movie, is there one thing that stands out most that annoys you the most?
One of the very final lines does. I've got a lot of notes. I've got a lot, but one of the very final lines which Selma Blair delivers is something did come back from the sea. Sooner or later, everything does. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
What
I
does that
mean,
mean? Sooner or later, everything does come back from the sea. What a heap of. It was supposed to. It's presented as if it's supposed to be like this enlightening kind of, I don't know, all-seeing type of overarching comment for the film, but it means fuck all. Sooner or later, everything comes back from the sea. Like, what the hell does that mean?
yeah. I mean, like, tell that to Maggie Grace's character in Lost. She didn't come back. Like,
Yeah, or her boyfriend.
yeah. So yeah, like I just the dialogue in it was shit. Like, and
Yes.
I'm not even wording it nicer. I could obviously be
Yeah.
polite and like use. No, it was terrible. Like, this was written before Chat GPT was a thing, and yet
Yeah.
it feels like AI wrote this.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the thing that annoyed me more than anything, and I don't know if everyone picked up on it or not, that noise every time the fucking fog came in, and it's like going like,
Yeah.
"Wah,"
I didn't pick up on
eh.
that.
Mate, I'm there. I'm muting my TV every time I saw
Really?
some green fog come. Yeah, because it makes the same
I
noise
never
every
heard it.
time.
I never noticed it.
Every
I really
you got to
didn't.
go back and just watch it.
I
Just even
don't.
the
I do not
opening
need to
thing,
go
like.
back.
But I'm there going like, you got to be fucking kidding me! Like, why is this like
I guess
the
I
fog has its own theme song? Like,
I
what's
guess
going on?
it's got its own
Um,
overture. I guess like the sea, eventually I might go back, I
no,
suppose. But
no, you fucking won't. Like, um, and then can we talk about the fashion in this movie, please?
that's 2005. I mean,
To
yeah.
Tom Welling in a turtleneck sweater. That was nice.
Man, I didn't even pick up on that. Like, that's how
What did
disinterested I
you
was.
watch this movie?
Yeah, well,
Like,
I
he
tried my
literally
best
spent
not
half
to.
the movie
I'll
with
tell
like
you what.
the world's biggest collar on. Like,
The only the only outfit I noticed was Maggie Grace in that negligee. That's why it got half a star. That's
it's
it.
not when she was wearing that um the very 2000s outfit that she rocks up in, like when he pulls over and picks her
Yeah,
up,
yeah, yeah.
and she's got that slouch cap on,
No,
and
no, didn't
like it
notice.
was the quintessential like 2000s outfit. Like I can't
Yeah,
remember exactly what like to details, but she was in like some jeans. Pretty sure they
yeah.
sort of flared
Jeans,
out
yeah.
at the bottom, which came back like
Yeah,
back
they
then was that it
yeah.
was around that time. Look at like the remake of Texas Chainsaw. That had Jessica Biel in, like some jeans. Um she's in some sort of like I'm gonna say like button up cardigan y type thing, and she's got this slouch cap. She like is basically dressed like Britney Spears straight out of 2000s. Um, but I just laughed at the fashion of it. Um, my review talks about the fact that it stars that guy from Mission Impossible 2 that gets karate chopped in the
Yeah,
throat.
I read that, but I was like, I don't know who he means. I don't know who you mean.
Yeah, so he's that like he's the professor. He's got the Russian surname in the movie, and he's on the plane, and and Tom Cruise character sits down next to him, and he goes, "Oh, Dimitri," like, and he starts
Oh,
talking about the syrup, and
this is
that's
in
when he
Mission
turns around.
Impossible 2, right?
Two, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and that's when like the guy turns to him and goes, "You keep calling me Dimitri. You really shouldn't." And then karate chops him in the neck, and it kills him. And so I just said, like, I'm like, the guy that played that like is like one of the baddies. He's that main ghost at the end that you see.
Oh,
And
okay.
I just said he manages to have more lines than in MI2. Good for him. Like,
Oh,
um,
yes, I know exactly who you mean. Yes.
yeah, he's the one
I'm
that,
looking.
like, right now, while you're there, look up the karate chop next scene. I just want to watch your reaction of that. um,
All right.
but, and then while you look that up, probably my last final thing before I hand this back over to you, for this was I was originally, like, surprised to find that this was directed by the director of Stigmata.
Yes.
Um, because I love that movie. I really enjoy Stigmata. Um,
Yeah,
my
me too.
review my review then goes on to say, but then I saw that he also directed Blank Check. This checks out.
Yeah.
Like, and that was very much like it's one of those things of going, Stigmata was amazing. Blank Check was shit. Like, and then this just falls like, what way does this fall? And it was,
On the lower
I,
side.
yeah,
I'd like to watch Blank Check before this.
yeah, I would too. The only reason why I gave this a star over half a star is
Hmm.
generally the movies that I give half a star are the ones that like have no redeeming qualities whatsoever. Like for instance, the likes of like Crackoon, or movies that take themselves too serious. Like I love a
Yeah.
bad schlocky indie movie that's made to look terrible.
If it leans into what it is, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
I'm the same.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
then I can give like if it's done well and I enjoy it, I'm happy to give it, let's say, 5 stars if it's that good. Like quality doesn't come into it if they own what they're doing.
yeah. Yep.
Um, this movie was trying to be good. Um, we don't even in. Do you remember how good the ghosts looked in the original? Like we
Yeah,
actually
they're
got to
shitting.
see them.
I was this. That was going to be one of my last thought. Is the CGI in this is atrocious. It's over the top, and
You
there's
don't
too
even
much
see
added.
anything for so long. Like,
But the thing, but even in saying that, they add too much over the first one. Like there's too much show and tell, right? Where the first The Fog and from 1980, it's kind of plays that Jaws game where you see that it shows a lot by not showing a lot.
yeah.
Where this one shows too much and it's bad. What it does show is bad.
Yeah, and I think that's probably it. Is it does, what, like you said, what Jaws does or what The Thing does, where it takes you a
Mm,
while that you either see things from the perspective of the ghosts, like you see
yeah.
first person perspective, so you would see the person scream, at getting attacked,
Hmm.
but you're looking through the eyes of the ghost. So you go, okay, but what's it look like? And it takes a while before you see anything. In this, it's like CGI, and when you do eventually see them like full on, especially towards the end, I go, they look terrible. But
Yeah.
then there's the bits in the movie where um, it was near when Big Dan kicks the bucket, the weatherman.
Yeah. Okay.
He There's a window, so like there's like windows that go around, and it was when like so you hear the noise that the fog makes, and like things have started like flying off and all this, and there's like this shimmer of where the ghost is, where it goes past in the background in front of the window, and I thought that looks shit. Like it's like how in like the Predator the Predator's see through, but you can see him, and in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Invisible Man, like the remake, you can see
Hmm.
his outlines and bits and pieces.
Yep.
It's like that's what this movie was trying to achieve, but they didn't have the
Right.
budget for it. So you see
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
really like shitty, if anything, it looks like where the ghost is meant to be, the outline of that ghost is DVD, a pirated DVD,
Yep. Yep.
but the inside of the ghost is 4K. Like,
Yep.
so you just see all this like pixelized like area around it that looks like it's photoshopped on top and looks terrible.
I love the way we
So,
both noticed different things because I didn't notice that.
mm,
That's at all. I just noticed that the CGI was kind of terrible, not the detail. It was just like because I guess I was actively not watching the screen as well. Maybe as I was paying as much attention because it was like because the movie fucking sucked. So I
yeah, well,
wasn't.
that's
Yeah,
it. So we should probably rate it in that way of going, I want to know how far into the movie do you reckon you went before you reached for your phone?
mate, that's never a good question to ask me. I don't know. Could have been 2 minutes. But I would do that with Raiders of the Lost Ark. Could be no time at all. But it's
What what do you ever not pick up your phone when you watch a movie?
when I'm at the cinema.
Okay, so even
But
if
at
you put
home, I
on
have a pause button, so I can, if like a great example. Recently, I watched probably what I think will end up being my favorite movie of the year was One Battle After Another. I still picked up my phone, but I would be pausing or rewinding if I had because of that,
Oh, okay.
because of that repo, because of that. But with this one, I would pick it up and I'm like, I haven't missed anything really. But again, it wasn't for long. I did pay attention to it. I definitely paid
Hmm.
attention to it.
Yeah.
Um, but I just didn't. Yeah, I
You're
don't know.
I've learnt a little bit about you today. You're a even with good movies, you're a phone grabber.
I am, yeah. It sucks. I do my best not to sometimes, but sometimes I got to because I've got kids or I've got people at the front door or
Oh, that's a little bit different. Like, so for instance, like if my phone's, let's say, next to me and I'm watching a
mm,
movie, and if I watched One Battle in the cinema, but if I use that as an
mm.
example, I'll be buying that on 4K.
Hell
Um,
yeah. Fuck yeah.
but I think I'm the type of person that if I'm engaged in a movie, the
Yeah.
only time I'll look at my phone is if it lights up, like if the screen lights up.
Well,
Otherwise,
yeah. Yeah.
but I will reach for my phone and let's say go on Whatnot or check eBay for stuff or anything like that when a movie is something like 2005's The Fog. Like
Yeah,
then I
okay.
don't care what I miss because somehow because the
Interesting.
dialogue in that movie is so bad. You know how that
Yeah,
Jamil,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
talked
yeah.
about the second screen like watching and how the movies are all dumbed down because they expect you to be
Yes.
on your phone.
Yeah, yeah, because the way they
It's
write them, yep.
it's like they did this back then. It's like they
Yeah,
knew because this movie,
yeah.
what are you meant to be doing back then? What are you doing? Because it was
It's a really good
mobile
point.
phones weren't like huge back then. Like,
It's a really good
they didn't.
pickup.
But what? It's either that or they didn't deliberately do it, and it just
No, it's
happened to
just a
be
sign
here.
of bad writing, honestly. I
Yeah.
don't know how, I honestly don't know how this got through the cracks of, it was one of those days that I guess studios were like, oh, well, we fucking made it now. We've got to release it. Where, nowadays, if they make something they don't particularly like, especially Warner, they go, oh, we just won't release it. Back then,
So
it's like they spent the money.
it makes me think. Obviously, let's just say they released this movie word for word, but they've made it so that the movie looks like it's from 2025. Like the graphics and everything are better,
Hmm.
but word for word, it's the same. Do you reckon people would still think it's a bad movie? Or because now we get such shit dialogue in these second screen movies and that I can't remember the actual term she uses, but like the second screen
Yeah.
term that where she talks about the fact that it is dumbed down and they deliberately use the exposition to make it that you can look at your phone for the entirety of the movie. Would someone watch this now, not pick up on bad writing and go, I've stayed in the loop? Like,
If they remade the 2005 one or the
yeah.
1981?
2005.
Yeah, man, it'd probably be a hit on Netflix, honestly. Because
That's
Netflix are
sad.
pretty capable of releasing C minus material and calling it A plus.
Hmm, that's
I've
true.
speaking of Stranger Things, I've started watching the fourth episode today. I've not been a fan. Like the acting in it is, again, speaking of act, not that this is a Stranger Things podcast and we're in a time hurry, but I've not been enjoying. I mean, it's been okay, but the acting
Are
has
you
been
talking about
particularly.
season five?
Yeah, yeah, season five, Stranger Things.
Yeah.
The acting has been not great. Even my daughter, who's only 18 and not as experienced at watching things as me, is like, yeah, she's not enjoying it either because of the
Hmm.
acting. Like, oh, there's a couple of scenes I watched with Millie, Bobby Brown, and David Harbour. And I'm like, this isn't good. Like, they've had all this fucking time to make this season and they still aren't making it like primo, like what it should be.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, have you watched any of it yet?
Nah, because I've
None at
worked.
all?
Nah, because it
Ah,
came out 12 hour time, like 12 p.m. here in
right.
Melbourne.
Yeah, yeah,
They've
yeah.
made it that it came out at the exact same time,
Yeah.
like Australia wide, oh well, worldwide, but
Worldwide, yeah.
Australia time. So you would have been watching it. Oh,
11
it would have
a.m.
came out at 11. Would have been your time. Um, but nah, like I've not watched any of it.
Hmm. Okay.
And that's why I'm going to be trying to
I'll
boot my family out.
yeah, yeah.
Early go, hey guys, like, I'm tired. Like, see, they get out.
They're long
Um,
episodes, mate. You won't get through many tonight. Trust me.
are they all long, are they?
The shortest one's 54 minutes. The
Oh,
last
okay.
four that come out on Boxing Day are all over 100 minutes. All of them.
And then there's something that comes out like New Year's Eve or New Year's
I
Day or
don't know.
something.
I don't. It might be some. It's not.
I think there's three parts. I
According
think whatever just came out,
according to
um,
IMDb, there's not.
oh, okay, unless it's
Yeah.
changed. But it's talking about, so they call it second screen viewing. I've just brought up something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this makes so much sense. Like the fact that um it actually goes so um they say depth used to come from sustained focused. The kind you enter when your mind softens around a story. That's what second screen content quietly removes. When you split your attention, your brain can't fully encode what you're watching. That's why the show ends and you barely remember it. Half
Uh-huh.
presence, and this is probably like something that hit me really hard. Like I actually like felt this and I understand now. Um, it says half presence gives the illusion of rest, but it's not restorative. Your body
Hmm.
stays alert while your mind numbs. It feels like escape, but it's actually low grade stress. True rest comes when the mind and body sync. When one experience, not 10, fills your senses. That's the state of modern entertainment really rarely invites. Second screen habits also affect emotion. When stories move too fast, your nervous system can't complete emotional cycles. You start feeling stimulation instead of sentiment. And I just
Yeah.
thought that is so true.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I don't watch a whole lot of television
Yeah,
these
me
days.
either. No, me either.
Just because it does, I get it. I
Yeah.
get why they do it, and it's probably clever. That's the word that I would use, but at the same time, it feels gross coming out of my mouth to say it's clever.
But it's also unfair to the people who do sit and watch,
Hmm. Yeah.
right? And whether they're picking up on that and maybe they're not enjoying stuff as well. But yeah, I mean, it's the way the world is. Like we're all extremely busy, and we've as much as the internet and everything's supposed to make it life easier for us, and it kind of hasn't because we are multitasking all the time, regardless. Like to be sitting there scrolling, I'm very guilty of it lately, to be honest, and I hate it. And even when I'm doing it, I hate it that I'll be watching a reel or a TikTok while I'm also watching a show with the sound on both, and I'll just pause my show and I'll watch this reel, and because it becomes so engrossing that it's only short, it's only like a minute long, so I can pause it for a bit, but then those minutes add up, and
I
it's
was gonna say though, do you ever stop at one reel? Like, do you watch one reel and then get off, or is it I I notice this most when on a train when people don't have headphones on. When
mm,
TikTok came out, it was the devil, right?
yeah, yeah,
Because people are flicking to find stuff that they want,
yeah.
and that's supposedly, and I don't get this because it doesn't work for me, but supposedly, like flicking and going past, like scrolling videos is meant to release, I can't remember, it's either a dopamine hit or it's serotonin, one of the two,
Really?
supposedly.
Really?
It doesn't work for me.
Is that
Um,
how Tinder works?
well, maybe. I mean, you're sort of doing the same sort of motions, and to be fair, in a way, I guess
Yeah,
you're looking at similar sort of content. You're trying to find
yeah,
something that you like, right?
yeah.
Um, where it doesn't do that for me. If I've got to flick through, let's say, 20 reels to find something of any sort of importance to me,
You just
by
turn it
that
off,
point,
right?
I'm aggravated, right? Or
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
given
yeah,
up. I go like, no, like I'm not like, hey, like awesome. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. We this we're getting to the thing where I get it, and I guess from a business standpoint, as much as I hate it, it's clever that they're doing the second screen viewing is a thing.
yeah.
Um, because that's how people have to watch it now, I guess.
Well, you don't have to. People choose to watch it that way, honestly. I
Yeah,
mean, there's no better way to say it. I mean, it is a choice.
it is a choice.
It's
It
not
will
something we
always be
have
a
to do, but we
choice.
just do it because that's how we have evolved. It's how we've been forced to evolve by having the world in our palms all the
Do you
time.
reckon it will ever change? Do you reckon it'll ever go back where people, I guess,
No, it'll only get worse. I can only see it getting worse, honestly.
we've literally
It,
just seen the downfall of the human race. Like,
well,
basically.
the downfall of consuming art the way it should be consumed,
Mm.
absolutely. The human race will be. I have a lot of hope for the human race, especially with the modern generation. They're quite conscientious, they're quite switched on, and they're quite in tune with it. So I have a lot of confidence in our future leaders, um, especially because of their environmental consciousness and whatnot. Um, but I don't think something like this. It's the ruination of art, maybe not of the human race.
And therefore goes the importance of living. Like, well, what's to live
Well,
for if not for
exactly.
art, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Yep. Very, very fair point. Like art is what keeps us not just going from a consumption point of view, but also from a just from an experience and living point of view, because I think it is important to art is important, no matter what type of art you love. It could be
Hmm.
crocheting for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
Could be
all of it.
building Lego. I
Creativity
mean,
in general, like
exactly
creativity.
creative. Yeah, the minute humans stop being creative is the end of it.
Yeah. But
And AI is a real nail in that coffin of creativity.
oh, it really is because
But
you're getting people that think that they're creative, but they're not. Anyone can put,
hell no.
like anyone can put in a command for AI to do something. It's not
Yeah.
hard.
I think
And I
AI
know
is a
that
fad though. I think AI is a
I
real
hope
fad.
so. I hope
I
so for
no,
this.
I people will get sick of it. Like all those, I've got mates who send me those fucking jokes of old people or babies telling jokes that are AI generated. I won't
Mm,
watch them. I won't react. Like normally, people send me rules. I'll react to everything because I think it's a courteous thing to do.
yeah.
Is at least like it or laugh at it and whatnot.
Mm,
But if those things, I just will not. I just blank face it all the time because I'm just not interested. Of watching two old AI people or an AI baby read me a joke. Like, fuck, that's atrocious. I think it's being used now for what is novelty. It's a novelty at the moment, but once
yeah.
AI gets to what its actual intended purpose is, I think it'll be fine. If that shit will die off, and we've seen that with other trends on the internet where stuff will take off and it'll be used for a purpose that is immediately obvious, but then it evolves and people start using it for its
Yeah.
proper purpose, you know?
It's difficult to see, especially like you talk about having hope for a lot of like, the future generation and
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
that will go for. But at the same time, a lot of these people, they seem to be like, or try to come across as relatively environmentally conscious, right?
Yeah.
Like conscientious of the well-being of the planet.
Mhm.
However, these people are the ones that are using AI to the max, or it tends to be people, I'm going to say, and hate to say it in case, but like also, I find it's a lot of people in their 40s and 50s upwards using it because they haven't had anything like that before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
but the amount of damage that it's doing to the planet, and I
On
recently had,
on an energy consumption level
yeah, yeah,
or from
like,
from both and a
well,
mental
both.
level too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like the amount of like the water that it uses to like cool down the plants, like the data like plants for these, like is
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, it's
Um,
absurd.
but then so these people that are all worried about the status of the planet, they're not
Oh, look,
because
I also strongly, Matt, if we want to get into, I know we haven't got long to talk, but if we want to get into something, I think our energy worries aren't worries. I think there is a solution very close around the corner, and when we need it, we will discover it and we will use it because we already have other worldly beings on this planet who have that information that we reverse engineer and we'll be using them when we need to use it. It's that
yeah.
simple. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and then I get it. Like I've seen a lot. You saw me. Um,
Yeah, hell, sorry, thunderstorm here, and that was close. Scared the shit out.
You
Oof.
saw I put up a thing about people that were using AI to create art for whatnot.
Yeah, yes,
And
yeah, yeah,
you
yes.
went into my DMs and you said, like I can't remember what you said, but you're like, oh, like, you'll struck a chord with that one. Like you'll end up, that's gonna upset some people.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Um,
yeah.
out of all that, I had one person reach out to me.
Yeah. Hmm.
And it was a very civil conversation. I won't name anyone on this,
Yeah.
in case they're listening. I will straight up say it was a very civil conversation. There was no like, it stayed amicable the whole time. Um, their viewpoint was that using the generative AI, that they could um spend less time making the art and the posts for whatnot
Yeah. Yep, yep,
and
yep.
more time like listing things and because they have a busy life. And I look
Yeah.
to that extent, I
Yep.
understand we want to be able to simplify the things that we do,
Definitely.
and so they got it. And they weren't aware of what AI, they thought that it creates the art. I said no, like it technically steals art to create that. Like that's nothing of that is wholly original. Like that is taking things from something else. AI isn't capable of creating something from scratch.
No, AI is a plagiarism machine.
Yeah. So, and they
Yeah.
didn't know that. They go, "Oh, but this is from scratch." I'm like, "No, this is still in art. Like, regardless of if you don't know who the artist is or anything like this, AI cannot create from scratch." And they were like, "Oh, okay, I didn't know that," and I told them, and I guess I can't stop anyone, nor would I want to because I'm not their parent.
Mm.
But they said, but it's still the simplicity of life still outweighs the bad for them.
Yep.
They're going to continue to use it
Hmm.
after being told that because it makes their life easier. And I go, not that I personally understand that because I go, no, like I think if that were the case, no, like I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
I would either find time to do art for it or like to make the posters, things like Canva and that you can do it on. Um, or I would make myself less busy in one way, shape, or form, if possible. For me, AI is not an option.
Okay.
Um, but at the same
I
time,
get it. I absolutely get it.
I can't stop someone to do it, and to be honest, I don't want to. I want someone to make their own decision to stop using it.
Well, it's inevitable, mate. I don't think not enough people are going to go, "Oh, I'm not using this." It's AI. We've just recently adopted some AI at work with Microsoft. We use at my
Copilot.
workplace. Yeah, we use Copilot. And we had a conversation the other day, yesterday. Someone said, "Oh, Copilot has crashed and it's down for certain users." It was fine for me, but I commented in my Teams chat. I was like, "It's amazing. It's remarkable how quickly we've become so reliant on this because we've literally only been using it for 6 months, if that,
Yeah,
and the
my
way we do it."
work's less than that.
Yeah, yeah, and I basically said I only use it when I feel I absolutely have to, and sometimes because I do business improvement and do projects,
Mm,
I have to analyze a lot of data or a lot of text, so I just chuck
yeah,
it in there and say, break this down for me, give me the key points, and it's fucking amazing for that, mate. It's so amazing. It's turned what could take me 3 days to dissect a whole list of questions and answers and exploration of problems and whatnot.
mm,
3 days it could have taken me to do all that and then present it in a shortened, condensed PowerPoint to an executive. And it takes 8 seconds for it to deliver it and about an hour at tops for me to and then build the PowerPoint presentation around it. Like it's
yeah,
amazing how it's saved that. So then, I get to chill for a bit during the day.
yeah. See, for me in my job, there's a certain aspect of my job where, unfortunately, I have to use it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's to gather stats and data for
Hmm.
reports as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and before that, they did use like Chat GPT. I told them my stance
Ah.
on it that I wouldn't want to
Hmm.
use that. They
And they
go,
said,
well,
"Fuck you, we don't care,"
yeah, because we use a
because it's a
program
business.
called we used a program called Tableau
Oh, yeah.
to build our reports off to give us the
Hmm.
data, but that doesn't give a report that's, I guess, report ready. Um, and so it's just
Mm.
I have to. They're not going
Yeah.
to let me keep my job if I don't use it,
Yeah. Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. Yep.
Because like what you said, what would take you, however long to do, it's the
Yeah.
same sort of thing. Like for me to get that stuff ready would probably at least take me like 2 or 3 days. And I only get given, let's say 45 minutes to have this. So
Hmm.
that like simply just wouldn't do it. And if I said no, they'd be like, okay, well, catch you later. We're gonna get
Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
that will
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But moving on to a
The
movie that
fog
definitely had no AI in it. Definitely had no AI
definitely
in it.
had no AI in it.
Um,
It was all RI, real
I
intelligence.
I enjoyed this for as campy as it is.
But then, so
And
we're talking about the 1980, The Fog,
yeah,
the
yeah,
John
yeah,
Carpenter's The Fog.
yep.
Yeah.
Look, I don't give it the highest rating. I need to rewatch it. I gave it 3.5 stars.
When did you watch it last?
2023. So it's
Oh,
been
see,
a little
okay.
while.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was my second watch, and I boosted it a full star. So I had it at 3 stars and boosted it to four. And it might have
Okay.
been because I watched it pretty much directly after the original Fog and thought, yeah, this is
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So it sways.
Yeah.
It could have been 10 star.
It could have been. In hindsight, obviously, like if I had to compare the two, one is, let's say a half-star movie, the other one is a five-star in comparison, right?
Mm.
So, if you could only base on that, I go, okay, like 1980s gets 5 stars. Um, I enjoy it for what it is. It's campy. It's over the top. Some of the dialogue is so cheesy and hammed up, but it just adds to it. It actually
Yeah.
suits the movie. Like it
It
looks,
suits the era that it was
yeah,
made.
that too. Like everything about that movie feels deliberate.
Yep. Oh
And
yeah, yeah,
obviously they wouldn't have
yeah.
known though. They wouldn't have known what that would look like today. Like
No.
they wouldn't. But back then, it all just fit. Like nothing felt out of place. And obviously, we don't talk like they do now. And,
Mm,
there's different
mm.
things that come up. But I'm watching this movie, and obviously, it's a movie from far out, 45 years ago.
Crazy, huh?
Um, but at the same time, nothing feels out of place while watching it. I go, yeah, this all just fits. It
It
all,
feels natural.
yeah.
That's John
Um,
Carpenter's beauty, though, too, right? Because it's yeah,
Yeah, I mean, he made the thing feel natural, didn't he?
yeah,
Somehow with the
yeah, yeah,
alien, like
yeah.
aliens and all that. But,
It's
um,
it's it's typical Carpenter where it's a great lesson in atmosphere and tone.
yeah. Um, I basically just turned around and just like said, I love the fact that this has Tom Atkins and Jamie Lee Curtis in it.
Hmm.
I think anyone that listens to this podcast knows how much the Halloween franchise means to me.
Hmm.
And that, and obviously this is John Carpenter, who
Yeah.
he didn't do Halloween 3.
Mhm.
Um, but we finally get two protagonists out of Halloween in the same movie, done
Yeah.
by the creator of Halloween.
Yeah.
That wasn't lost on me. I thought that is so cool, like to think about. And like I say this respectfully because I do mean it respectfully. Just like the sheer sexiness of everyone in this movie, like everyone in 1980s The Fog look like supermodels, like from just the random people down the
Oh,
street to
really?
like, oh
Okay.
yeah, they're all just like, just I don't know if it's that generation or whatever. They're just handsome looking people, like um
Yep.
I
Yeah,
think,
it's a good
you
point.
know, Jamie Lee Curtis is very pretty,
Yeah.
and I think she's someone like who's aged really well, and like her
Hmm.
personality also infuses with that
It
because like
does. It comes across in
even
this movie.
yeah, and even like her now, you'll see like any of the interviews, and she's retained that old spark that she's had, like that
Hmm.
playfulness, and you see it in this movie. Tom
She
Adkins
she still has that
is
sense of
amazing.
wonder and awe about her, which makes her
Exactly,
such an
right?
engaging person. Yeah.
She hasn't given up on the world,
Mm.
which,
Yeah.
a lot of people could have by now. Um, Tom Atkins is awesome. I think he's a really cool actor. I
Hmm.
really enjoy that. I think if I were from this era of like watching these movies, he probably would have been like my favorite actor. He would have been the type of,
Really?
the type of person that I would have had like posters up of his movies on my walls and that
Oh,
sort of thing. I just
interesting.
think he's really cool.
Yeah.
Um, it's just unfortunate that I'm not of that generation. I'd happily have photos of him, posters of him on my wall now, but it's just not the same. Um, and then because like I loved him in things like Maniac Cop. I obviously love him in Halloween. 3 season of the witch.
Yep.
Um, in this as well, great. Like, and he's been in a bunch of awesome stuff too. But there's something about both of them, Jamie Lee Curtis and Tom Atkins, that I was just watching in wonder the whole time. Just I loved it. Their and I know it's a movie, but just their chemistry or like their seeming chemistry,
It's
it felt
instant.
legitimate,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it felt legitimate.
Yeah. Yeah, it's instant in the movie, and like there's the scene where like they've not woken up, but they're in bed after just having sex, and then he asks her name, and I'm like, oh, that's the 70s mentality for you as well,
Mm,
right? Just picked up this woman because in the '05 version, these two people know each other when
mm,
he picks her up in the car, and this one she's just a hitchhiker, and they
yeah.
just hit it off, they shag. Oh, what's your name? Like that's very 70s. They could not do
Mm.
that in 2005 because it's has to be a pro relationship and blah blah blah, right?
And they can't do it
It's
in 2025 either.
no,
Um,
they wouldn't. They could, but they just wouldn't.
they wouldn't. Yeah, so I want to like pick your brain, like what you think
Yeah.
about this one. Like, what were your thoughts? And obviously you rewatched it and you said it bumped up
Yes.
did you say a star, like a full
A full
star?
star. So it went from three to
Yeah.
four, and a four for me is a three. A 3 stars for me means it's worth checking out. A 4 star means it's a must watch.
Yeah, like
Um,
a 4 star for you compared to most people is an everyman's 5 star, really.
Oh, you reckon? No, this just means I
Yeah,
think you must watch it. Yeah, five stars for
no,
me
but I
means
mean,
this is
you,
exceptional work
yeah,
or an all-time
exactly.
nostalgic favorite.
Yeah, you tend to you give out 5 stars very sparingly. That what most people would give 5 stars, you tend to give 4 stars for the most part, unless it
Yeah.
hits
The,
something like important to you.
I've only had two movies this year that I've watched for the first time and given 5 stars. By the way, 2025 is a banger of a year for movies. I'm
Mm,
just discovering. But only two movies have gotten 5 stars straight away, and that was Begonia, which I watched last night, and
yeah.
it wasn't even Sinners. Well, One Battle After Another, which is probably
Yeah.
one of the greatest movies, probably the greatest movie of the decade at the moment, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'll take that back because Everything Everywhere All at Once is better. But it's yeah, instant 5 stars. Sinners and I've seen twice, and what was the other one? Because that was a 4.5. And Weapons, both
Yeah.
I've had to see twice to bump them up to 5 stars. Actually, I don't even think I did that with Weapons. Anyway, this movie I love the cold open with John Houseman telling that
Mm,
creepy ghost story to all these kids. And I did write down that at the beginning, seeing a bunch of kids sitting around watching an old guy tell a story, you would never see that in 2025 because they'd all be reaching for their phones. They would not sit and have the attention
mm,
span to sit and watch an
yeah.
old man tell them a ghost story on the beach around a campfire. It's a great opening and it really sets the atmosphere and tone for this movie instantly. It's fantastic. It is. Yeah, we had a bit of a break there because Mike's computer went flat and we can barely remember what we're talking about. I know I was talking about that cold open with Michael Houseman talking to the kids who have amazing attention spans for kids in the 80s. So I was just giving my general thoughts. Anyway, John Carpenter cameo at the start. That was pretty cool
Mm,
to see him. I think him and Deborah Hill, who co-wrote this, who's Deborah Hill. If you don't know Deborah Hill, you need to look her up. She did a lot of big things. Died unfortunately young. But I thought her and Carpenter had a thing going at one point in time. Anyway, I did like the relationship between Stevie and Dan. Dan is the weather guy in this one, and way more and than in the 2005 version. This one is a bit more cute and less creepy than it was portrayed in 2005. Selma Blair was clearly not interested in this guy in 2005 and made it very well clear, but also I thought led him on a bit by telling him to call me later, do this and that. She led him on a bit, even though she had no interest. Where in this one, these guys had a relationship where they'd obviously never met, but it was just a cutesy over the phone type of relationship that really worked quite well. This movie also has quite a bit of actual humor in it as well. Like it has some really funny parts in it. Has great set design, has great practical effects. And there is a theme in this movie of honoring murderers,
mm,
of colonizers, which is really prescient. I thought that was a really interesting touch that I don't think we would have been touched on very much back in 1980 or in that era. Um, yeah, that's touching on the notes I have at the moment. Did you have any other questions for me that you wanted to stump me with this episode?
no, 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 because we'll save those we'll save those for your first Instagram live.
Could be a while, man. Don't hold your breath. But yeah.
Um, again, guys, follow Adam at curbside_collections on Instagram for all your good stuff. No, not really. There was nothing that I wanted to stump you on. It was more, I was really just stoked that we did this double feature just because I think it
Okay.
shows um how vastly different the remakes can be with movies because for instance like if I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
correctly we both enjoyed both versions of The Hills Have Eyes. Like we
Yes.
both
Very
like we were like
much.
yeah that they were good. Same with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We
Hmm.
enjoyed both versions of those as well.
Yep.
um so we were on a little bit of a streak where we were watching decent remakes and
Mm.
I though I hadn't seen the 2005 The Fog, I saw that it wasn't highly rated, so I thought this would be good. Like we need to see the duality of what a remake can be like. Um and I think that made a really good one. You know, I would very much like to um do one where we do like both of the House of Wax movies, you know, do the Vincent Price and do the Paris Hilton one. Uh,
Mate, stretching the friendship.
yeah,
Well,
look,
I
I
prefer to
get
do the
that.
blobs. Did we do Invasion of the Body Snatchers
No,
yet?
we haven't.
See
No.
that and the Blob and the Thing. We need to do both versions of the Thing as well.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily like the
The
original the
Howard
thing.
Hawks, the Thing. Yeah, man.
Yeah, okay.
That's actually
I wanted to make sure we're not talking about the 2011 pseudo sequel or prequel, sorry.
no. I'd be talking about the Howard Hawks from the 50s. The Thing. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's obviously a bunch we could do, but I wanted to make sure that you know, I wanted to show that not all remakes are good because more often than not,
Yeah.
they're not. You know, like most of the time they're
Yeah.
shit. Um, and but we had just been lucky that every remake we had talked about, even like when we talked about Dawn of the Dead, the
Mm.
2004 one, we
Mm.
both enjoyed that. You know,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
um,
They're
and
both great in
so
their own ways.
I wanted to show that we're not um you know, we're
Just
not
just picking all
lovers of
bangers. Yeah.
yeah, we're not lovers of all remakes.
Mm.
Um and so yeah,
Um,
I think that's where it's important.
just looking at the schedule, so next fortnight we're going to be talking about two movies from the 1940s. We don't know what they are yet.
Mm.
We will discuss that imminently and start recording and get those watched. The next episode after that before Christmas will be our good friend Uncle Wayno will be joining us. Our next double feature is My Bloody Valentine, which I've not seen either of those from 81 and 2009. So I'm keen to check those out, to be honest. But that's a little bit away. That'll be definitely a 2026 episode. Um, I know you're under time constraints, and I know you have
Mm.
family at the house, so I'm happy to wrap it up here if you are. But I absolutely recommend John Carpenter's The Fog from 1980. As for 2005, you can very much leave that alone and piss on its hot steaming ashes if you want to, because it is not a movie worth your time at all. If you think differently, please let us know at the Super Fun Happy Horror Hour podcast Instagram channel. That is what it's called. You can catch me, Curb Rider, at Letterbox. I forgot what I was talking about there. You are beyond you are beyond horror on pretty much everything
Yep.
as well. Until any final words, Mr.
Don't
Mike?
don't watch 2005's The Fog and
Sound
turtlenecks should
advice.
stay dead.
What should turtlenecks? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, wise words from Uncle Mike. Until next time, yeah, the Super Fun Happy Horror Hour is a member of the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network, where you can find anything pop culture related and more anywhere you get your podcast from. If you'd like to be a guest on any of the shows on that network, you can also follow and drop a DM to the SPDM Crew Instagram page, or message us directly. We can pass stuff on, or if you want to be on our show, let us know as well. And we will absolutely be organizing a time as we will plan to ramp up having special guests on this show sooner rather than later. because we want to talk to more people and more like-minded people. Until then, thank you very much, everyone, for listening and tuning in to our show and listening to our ramblings. We love you all, and pass the word around. Get me up to 1,000 followers so I can do some lives and talk about physical media on Instagram, when and how I want to do it. Because I'm trying to do you guys a service. So yeah, help me out, help a brother out, my guys. And until next time, see you next time. Well, that's good writing.
Yes, I like that. Until next time, see you next time. Yes, that is great. Perfect to end on. That is amazing. That is going to be a staple moving forward. Until next time, see you next time. This is the sort of goal that you're waiting for the Instagram Live, guys. This is it.
So, yep, you can catch an old man's stupidity anytime you like. As soon as I get to 1,000 followers, it'll be on.
Yeah, but until
Yes.
next time, see you next time.
We'll end it there. That sounds good. Bye, everyone.